HarperCollins presents The Three Locks, a Sherlock Holmes adventure, by Bonnie MacBird, read by Simon Darwen.
Prologue. When a mysterious woman going by the name of Lydia offered me a cache of unpublished tales written by Dr. John H. Watson some years ago, I was astonished to discover previously unknown adventures he had shared with the master detective and his most admirable and unusual friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It soon became apparent that there was a reason within each of these newly discovered tales for Watson not to have made them public at the time he released the others. By the others, of course, I mean those which were brought to light by Arthur Conan Doyle. Dr. Doyle's precise role in these, be it literary agent or in some way promoter, remains buried in the sands of time. Without giving this story away in advance, I can conjecture that both Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes may have had cause to delay release of the tale which follows, or, in Holmes's case, to disapprove entirely of its publication. I hope the reader, and Dr. Watson and Mr. Holmes, wherever they dwell at present, either in heaven or as motes of stardust, will forgive me for deciding to put forward this story now, one which has been locked away for more than 130 years. Bonnie MacBird, London, December 2020.
Part 1. The Box. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks. William Shakespeare, Macbeth. Chapter 1. The Box. It was late September of 1887, and an unusually hot Indian summer. For 2 weeks, London had suffocated with furnace-like temperatures, keeping me indoors for days. The blinding heat on Baker Street rose from the pavement in shimmering waves, the stench of refuse and horse droppings adding to the misery. Only the hordes of raucous city dwellers, whom I knew were flocking to the seaside with their dripping ice creams and shouting children, prevented me from fleeing to Brighton or Cornwall with them. My name is Dr. John Watson, and at age 35 I was 6 years into sharing both rooms and many adventures with my friend, the remarkable consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. But sadly, Holmes seems to have forsaken my company of late. I had seen little of him for 3 weeks. I longed for a distraction from the misery of this weather. Not only had he not invited me on his recent escapades, but he had dismissed my questions with a petulant wave of his hand. When Holmes did not wish to reveal something, no cajoling, guesswork, or sleuthing could prise it free. He likewise kept his personal history, which I always suspected to be tinged with the dramatic, locked away as securely as any treasure stored in a bank vault. But even I have a few secrets of my own. Locks, after all, are in place for a reason, whether privacy, security, or safety. It happened that a locked and deadly secret played a key role in each of the 2 cases, and a puzzle of my own, which presented themselves to us that fateful month. So complex were these gruesome mysteries, and so tragic the outcomes, that it took the genius, bravery, and resourcefulness of Sherlock Holmes to solve them, and a certain transparency of my own to tell of them now. My hesitation in doing so earlier will become apparent, perhaps only at the very last. Our rooms faced east on Baker Street, and on that day I had closed the heavy curtains against the morning sun, leaving the windows behind them cracked open and myself sitting in half-light, too hot even to read. Despite my claim that I had become inured to the heat during my army years in India and Afghanistan, I suffered mightily. I contemplated asking Mrs. Hudson for an iced lemonade, but the poor woman was no doubt prostrate on her bed from the heat. A paper fan lay next to me, useless in this oven. My ruminations were interrupted when the postman arrived with a small rectangular package, addressed to me and postmarked Edinburgh. I welcomed the distraction. The package was perhaps half the size of a shoebox and heavy. The sender was a mystery. One E. Carnachan. I unwrapped it, only to find a smaller box in
Sample complete. Ready to continue?